Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Sirhansfelix, as you already know. And so today we're just going to do a quick rundown on what happened today in the markets. And of course, uh, some of the things went right and some of the things you just can't catch them all. So we're going to see what happened, what occurred. I'm going to share a little bit about some of the trades that I was looking at. And then, yeah, we're definitely going to be preparing for the next week and see what opportunities are going to be there. All right, so it is now, what time is it? It is 5:45 Eastern time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. The market should be just about closed, just about now. It's been 45 minutes. So the first thing I'm noticing is gold. So this morning, I was not too focused on any other pair but USDJPY. So I actually was not paying attention to what happened with gold too much. All right, so but I did notice. I noticed that gold is still keeping a bearish trend. All right, so why is it that gold is still keeping a bearish trend? You might be asking yourself, right? Or shoot, shout out to some of my people here who still trade gold. Let's start with that. Now, one of the main things we got to talk about is what helped gold actually continue selling. And one of the biggest things that helped gold to continue selling or induced gold to continue selling is right here. When you're looking at earlier into the week, we had ISM. All right, so the ISM news is a big contributor to how gold will react, especially if the markets are already on a bullish tip because of the United States dollar. Then it pretty much helps the cause to further continue the direction of where gold is headed. All right, so boom, on Wednesday, right? ISM news dropped. ISM service PMI. You know, as a trader, you really have to pay attention to the fundamentals that go on day and night. All right, so what does the ISM news tell us? Well, it is the Institute for Supply Management. That's obviously important, right? Usually, when the numbers come out above 50, it indicates industry expansion. Meaning, so like if it falls below 50, it indicates industry contraction. So if this is the first time you're hearing these terms, it just means this. If things are popping above 50, then most of the industries are not doing as bad. All right, especially for the economy, it is a big sign and a leading indicator of economic health. So apparently we're not doing that bad after all, which is crazy, right? Because I thought we were in a recession. Things are a little fishy from here. So the numbers came out well above 50. In fact, they were forecasting 52. The numbers came out, 54.5 dropped. All right, so because of that, this was already a good sign for the US dollar. But not so much for gold. All right, so on Wednesday, the first thing that happened is price bought. And by 10, price dumped. So we can see that right here at 10 a.m. Eastern time when the market actually dropped this news. All right, so we can see it right here. Right there, 10 a.m. plummet. I didn't get to catch this trade. But the next day, for sure, I got to catch this retracement. But what I did catch, though, is USDJPY on Wednesday. I caught a beautiful buy setup. It was amazing. Like, one of my highlights for sure, right? But as we can see, though, what's up, Alice? As we can also see, Uh, Gold bought aggressively today as well. But what you guys got to understand is, even if price is buying, you got to always ask yourself this question: where is it buying to? Don't get caught up into the flash and the glams and all these blue profits. You got to really be actively making sure that you know the direction that price is going, at least the potential of it. So what ended up happening is, we bought right above the highs of the previous days. So like we had Wednesday, price was trading up at this point at 1928, and we also had Tuesday. So we can call this the high of the week. We can call it the high of the week. And so of course, what ends up happening is price goes up to take out liquidity, and the very minute they achieve this objective, price literally turned back down. So this tells me that price one is definitely maintaining a bullish structure, even though we had price. Did I say bullish structure? Yeah, I caught myself. Price is maintaining a bearish structure, even though we had like this bullish aggressive move. So what ends up happening is, though, if you were in this buy, like some people obviously had to be, right? You probably had like high expectations for price to continue. And then, just like every trader, you might have gotten up just to go, check in on, how your breakfast is doing downstairs in the kitchen, or, want to go grab some water. Some of us can get up and go brush our teeth, and next thing you know, it's probably the worst decision you made. You should have, you was better off just trading with bad breath. Because what happens next is definitely not the sweetest of things, and a lot of traders go through that. I've gone through that before. So like when it's prime time, you just gotta be locked in. That's it. So as we can see, the trend is bearish. So how do I know that the trend is still bearish? Well, one of the biggest telltale signs of trend continuation or trend reversal after a reset is when price takes out the liquidity of the previous week. All right, so with just that right there, I'm already knowing what's going to happen next week. But next week I'm gonna pull up waiting for certain rules to apply. The first rule is this: just like last week, it's crazy, they like to do this. They like to repeat the same patterns, right? Okay, August 30th, Friday. Whew, this is getting good. This is getting real good. All right, so Friday, September 1st, price bought in the same manner. And sure enough, that's why you got to be prepared to see certain setups repeat. That's why it's so good to backtest, and also really make sure that you're paying attention to what happened in the market on the last hour, or like just as soon as the market closes. Try your best to, like, if you have some time, just make sure you're paying attention to what really happened towards the near end. That's a lot of good data that you can gather for next week. All right, so price on September 1st literally came in, swept the liquidity, and boom. How did last week play out? Monday was Labor Day. I actually chose not to trade, but had it been any other day but Labor Day, I would have taken this trade for a sell. And as we are looking at it, in fact, since Monday, price did not stop selling for the whole entire week. Bruh, 270 pips and more. All right, so before price even retraced from this bearish trend, they spent the whole entire 2 days and 6 hours, or well, obviously it's more than that. We just kept on selling. So this is good data and information for you to not only take notes of, but to take a screenshot. So this is what I like to do. I like to take a screenshot. Boom. All right. And from there, I usually like to do what I'm doing right now. So obviously, I have my own Discord private group. If you want to be a part of it, I will leave the link below. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a note. All right, so I'm going to go to my Sirhansfelix analysis page. All right, I'm looking for the screenshot. Oh, there it is. It just popped up out of nowhere. All righty. So, boom, dropping this analysis right there and then, and I will explain everything else afterwards. So, this is good data because we can already see that the market is painting the same picture. All right, because last Friday we did the same thing, and the way we did it, we just might repeat. So what can we anticipate next week? Well, we can anticipate price to break. Oh wait, that already happened. Perfect. So then the next step should be that we are anticipating a potential retest into this area of interest. So once we get that, all right, I like to mark my charts nice and clean. Shout out to you if you're actually, oh yeah, the screenshot popped up on your chart. I bet. All right, so for everybody who's watching right now, appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. I will be doing these more often. All right, so as we are talking about this, I almost forgot. We have an upcoming 3-day boot camp. So if you are interested in being a part of the 3-day psychology boot camp, you definitely want to subscribe to my YouTube channel as of right now. And if you go looking into the description, you will go right there into the description and you will see it right here. Let's see if the camera can get it. All right, so right under the description, you will see the link to sign up for the boot camp. All right, I need to get all in your face like that. I probably would crest it. Let me go ahead and grab a little bit of my lip balm here. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure. Yeah. Not trying to get caught lacking out here. All right, cool. So, moving on. All right, so what I'm expecting already for gold is I'm going to be looking to see price retrace and hopefully fail to swing higher than this. And I already know what the move is for the whole entire week. Okay, so now if price is selling, then where will it be selling to? Well, we got all this liquidity here at the bottom. We got 1900, looks nice and sexy here. And since price, give me 1 second. Excuse me, guys. All right. So, like I was saying, we got all this liquidity down here, and this demand is definitely looking like the potential target area. And truth be told, there are several target areas. One of them being 1910, quick and easy. And 1900, 1903, definitely looking at these potential targets. Now, before I do continue, I just want to say that trading the markets does carry high risk. This is not financial advice. This is just for education purposes. And of course, like, you do get to trade responsibly. This is how I'm looking at the market. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen exactly as is. But judging from my years of experience, typically I don't miss. All right, so um, let's see what happens next week, though. I can't wait to see what unfolds next week, which means it's time to make sure we check and see what type of fundamental news is is waiting for us next week. So we're gonna go straight into Forex Factory real quick, see what we got. Oh snap, we got G20 meetings this weekend. Oh man. All right. So the first thing I notice is the Japanese yen on Sunday is going to be having their year-to-year money stock news. We also have preliminary machine tool orders. But however, like when it comes to like USD news, it looks like there we go. So on Wednesday, core CPI. Core CPI news is definitely going to be bringing in the volume to shake these markets. So we also have Thursday core PPI. All right, so there's definitely news that could help carry the volume to these areas that we're looking to see. And since the dollar is already showing signs of bullishness, and core CPI is just going to further tell us what is in store for the strength of the dollar. And if core CPI comes out a bit above what's forecasted, then that's already going to be telling us, or if it comes out even, it's still going to be telling us what the strength of the dollar is going to be and if they're going to raise interest rates or keep them the same. So far, it seems like all the other banks pretty much kept everything the same. I saw that for the Australian dollar this week. We got to see the Reserve Bank of Australia had dropped news this week. Let me see. Oh, that's crazy. Please, can you also look at the end explain, please can also at the end explain the correlation between news and the chart move at the release of news? It's almost like I knew, right? Almost like I knew. All right, so, and Alice, make sure you're a part of this bootcamp because I will be explaining further these correlations. All right, somebody said, already signed up, can't wait. Can't wait to deliver all this value to you. All right, so as we are looking, we can tell like we had Australian news this week. We also had the Euro, French manufacturing PMI, German manufacturing PMI. So like the numbers came out as well, and they came out above. Well, that was in August 23rd. It came out above what was forecasted. So when it came to Euro news, the French manufacturing PMI is basically the equivalent of the ISM news for the United States dollar. All right, so because it came out above what was forecasted for the Flash manufacturing PMI and the French manufacturing PMI, it pretty much did what it needed to do a couple weeks ago for Euro USD. So as we can see here, if I go to Euro USD, you'll see how price behaved if you never caught, if you didn't catch that setup. So August 28th, price came in. Let me see. Let me go right back. Oh, August 23rd. My bad, y'all. My bad. So that's what I was saying. I'm like, damn, I knew this setup happened like right here. So boom, right? August 23rd. We saw price retraced right in here. And news came out. And the first thing they did is they swept liquidity. So that's one thing that I'm going to be telling you guys on the bootcamp is like how price behaves 9 times out of 10. All right. So, boom. Oh, you don't need to inbox me. The link is right there. It's right in here. All right. So, um, let me tell you one thing about like teaching trading and everything, and putting yourself out there. You get twice as many text messages and inquiries, and like part of the job is like you have to keep up with everybody. it's it's so crazy, but whew, it'd be overwhelming sometimes. But that's what we signed up for. So it's part of the territory. Anyways, so August 23rd. Following up already from August 27th, we can see price came in, swept the liquidity, and they kept selling for the next 6 hours or so, if not 12. Yeah, most definitely. So for the next 12 hours after price swept the liquidity of the previous day, they literally sold for 14 hours. And then, of course, Tuesday, August 29th, price bought and went above the liquidity of the previous week. And so what ends up happening next is the same reaction. Price sold off, retested, and continued. So ever since then, we've literally been selling for Euro USD. And in fact, we've been selling since June, to be honest. All right, so if we're going all the way into the daily time frame here, and by the way, if you ever wanted to learn how to like back test, these are the things that you pay attention to. So as we can see here, ever since Monday, June 12th, this is why like on my Facebook, I was like, yo, Euro USD is not done selling yet. These are some of the reasons why, So shout out to you if you've been milking Euro USD. I know I have. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Boom. And so we can see like the liquidity of the previous year was swept for Euro USD. So because of this, we've been seeing a whole bunch of bearish movement, and we are still headed into, we're still making lower highs and lower lows. So where we headed? We're headed to the man. All right. So let's continue. Sheesh. Man, how many of y'all trade Euro USD? All right, cool. So, boom. Let me change that real quick. All right, so potential areas of target for sure is 1.0675. I could definitely see price making its way to 1.0675, and we could even go further. Honestly, I could see price reaching 1.0578. It all depends on what price is aiming to do once we get to June's demand zone. All right, so that's definitely the target that we want to pay attention to. All right, so moving on. We also got to see Euro USD do the same exact thing. Just like gold, we got to see price literally go up, take out the liquidity of the previous 2 days, and they just reversed right back. So this is something you can expect from pairs like Euro USD, which are bearish all because the dollar is bullish. I will say though, um, I've been trading USD JPY this week, right? And there was a point in time where like I was in many good positions with the market, and at a certain point, the retracement was pretty deep, and I had to get out of my positions. Not because I didn't expect price to continue um, buying, but the retracement was just right in the middle of my positions. So like, what did I have to do? I said, oh man, let me go ahead and get out, because I'd rather true up these losses and stop the bleeding versus just like staying in that thing and just not benefiting at all. All right, so I had to literally get out of my positions, and I figured out a way to get back in. But like, truth be told, like I really was not expecting them to retrace this deep into the demand. So by the time price actually pulled back like it did, I noticed that the same patterns happened on USD JPY as it did this week. I saw that like they retraced and retraced and retraced and retraced, came back, swept, and then once they did that, I already knew where I had to pull up and follow up just to see like what's really going on. So what ended up happening was, after they swept liquidity like they did with this long wick, pause. Sheesh, my goodness. All right. So price was like, let me tell y'all what I'm about to do. All right, you ready? You ready? All right now. You ready? You ready? I'm like, price. I thought we were bullish. It's like, yeah, I'm bullish. But oh snap, wait, hold up now. I just had one more thing, one more order I had to go grab real quick. So you see prices did going all deep down into the demand zone, and I'm like, good lord, price. Let me just get out my positions and then holler at me when you're ready. And so price swept liquidity in Asia, broke structure, pulled back here by 2 a.m. I was definitely sleeping. I was not doing this market any type of sleepover type of flavor. Like, I was not staying up and none of that. So, but when I pulled up and woke up around like 6 in the morning, I saw that price was sitting right here, and I went to brush my teeth because I was not trying to experience my breath in the fresh morning to trade. All right, can you imagine my breath just hitting this laptop screen back to me? Nah, that's disrespectful. I'm not gonna tolerate it, and neither should anybody. All right, so I ended up just going to brush my teeth real quick, washing my face, and then I saw price at 147.46, and because of that, I also got in some positions, but I saw price retrace a little bit more into the demand. I got in the first time, they swept me, and I said, damn. I waited just a little bit, got back in, and then price pushed. I said, okay, good. Then price retraced a little bit, bought, then they retraced a little bit more. I was like, yo, okay, so we just sweeping people here today, huh? Okay, cool. I got out my positions. Then I waited till like 10:30, and I gave it another chance. So that was 3 attempts. Finally, price decided to start moving the way they should. And boom, 32 pips later, I caught that. I got out, and I said, all right, I'll be ready for next week. So I can already tell like what could happen from here is when core CPI shows up, we could literally see price come back and retest this whole area before going into the next areas of resistance. And honestly, because I'm not in that trade and I'm not swing trading this position like I was, I wouldn't be I wouldn't mind seeing that, you know. But like on a daily time frame, this gives a whole different perspective where it could happen or it could not. All right, so we'll see what happens from here. Okay, so let me see. For Euro USD, lots of DMs going. How do you take partials? I know, right? People say, how do you take partials? I do remember that though. Now it makes sense. I do remember that. Shout out to my brother Vic, always showing up on my live sessions. But so yeah, if we get a nice retracement just to retest this area, I won't be too mad at it. In fact, let me also mark that this was Friday's demand, just in case price comes down and sweeps Friday's liquidity before they start buying. And I know for a fact when core CPI shows up, we're going to get a sweep of liquidity first. And then later on, we're probably going to continue. So if that is what's going to happen, yo, I'll be ready, because once price shows me the signs, ain't no telling how much profits potentially that might be made from this setup right here. So I'm looking forward to see what price does, and I hope you guys catch some pips too next week. So let's go ahead and move on. The last pair I want to also take a look at, and then I'm gonna close this live, is US 30. Where my US 30 trade is at? What my US 30 trade is at, man? Let me see. George, my man, how you doing, bro? Alright. Make sure you guys subscribe, drop some love and some hundreds on the chat, some fire on the chat. You know, show me some love, Alright, so somebody had asked me earlier in my private Discord. They were like, so is US 30 selling? I said, yeah, but it's selling until it gets to 4-hour demand. Throughout the week, though, there were areas that I thought were strong demand areas, and they actually kept selling. But one thing about this market, they could fool you once, they could fool you twice, but once they change character, you gotta know the price, okay? So what ended up happening from Wednesday up until today was price did find itself a base, and they broke structure, pulled back at 6 a.m. into this demand zone, and they broke structure again. So more than likely, we might see price retest this area, and then by the time core CPI pulls up, I definitely see some bullish momentum for USD, US 30. So I'm already seeing what the potential is right now. Let me go ahead and let me prepare myself just so I can remember. Yeah, man, we could see a this is a 6-figure trade right here, boy. Man, who's gonna make some money off this setup this next week, man? Alright, and we got Friday's order block right there. So sheesh. This is gonna be a nice setup. It's gonna be a real nice setup. The way US 30 is looking like a snack right now. Oh man. Sheesh. Midnight in Athens. I appreciate you for pulling up and being a part of this live. Mrs. Jones is my wife. Yes, yes, yes. So you got a girl, and her name is Dow Jones. Okay. I like that. I like that. I always thought Dow was a bit more masculine, but now I know it's Mrs. Jones. I like that. All right, so definitely am anticipating some bullish activity for USD Jones. All right, Mrs. Jones. All right, Ms. Jones. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see what happens next week. Pulling up and seeing what the potentials are bright and early Monday morning, giving myself at least an hour and a half just to see how things are unfolding. And it should be a phenomenal week for each and every one of us. You just got to be there. You just got to prepare yourself, and execution mentality. So, um, definitely on Tuesday, I'm looking forward to have a phenomenal end of the year boot camp. This is my last boot camp for the year. So if you haven't signed up for that boot camp, you're playing yourself. All right. Look, I'm not gonna promise that I'm gonna blow anybody's mind, but it happened in the past before with my previous boot camps. So if you are skeptical or you think I'm just selling you a dream, maybe I am. But whatever nightmare you might be going through, what else you gotta lose? You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, yo, I'm not gonna be here for too long. I just want to do a quick breakdown. Sometimes it takes the camera for you to pull up and do what you need to do. All right. The commitment of servicing a community is something that gives you purpose. So it's always purpose over profits over here. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Have a profitable next week, and take some time off during the weekend. Just enjoy yourself. Enjoy the fact that you're alive and able to breathe, able to trade, able to take a few losses, but still be in the game. You know. So that being said, guys, I'm signing out. Appreciate y'all, and yeah, let's have a